that is perfectly fine. I would ask that you keep the schmoozing down below the audio level of the people up front for those who are listening. I would appreciate that, and so would our performers and presenters. Anyway, so first up we have kyōgen with Verdi Confusi coming from us from Cleveland, Ohio in the Cleflands, Verdi in the Cleflands. Thank you.
Here I am in my temple. I have been the head priest of the Temple of Cinnabar for 5 long, glorious years. But I feel it is time as the head priest of the Temple of Cinnabar, to retire. I must find myself someone to take my position. But do not fear, for if you come to my temple for something, I shall have the new head priest, a man by the name of Yuki. Yuki shall take my position. Yuki! Yuki, where are you, Yuki?
Master.
Yuki!
Yes, Master?
I have called you here because I have decided to retire.
You are retiring?
I am retiring. I am leaving the priesthood, Yuki. I have decided I shall go and contemplate in prayer.
Yes, all of your work has been so great, Master. But what?
Look at everyone standing for me as I retire. This is amazing, Yuki.
But who could ever live up to you?
Yuki, I decided that no one else but you shall be the new head priest of this temple.
Me?
Yes.
Me?
Yes. So, I want you to think and contemplate on what it means to be a head priest. Think on this while I go do my morning prayers, Yuki. Take care of any business in my absence.
Yes, Master. I get to be the head priest. I have watched what he does so long. I'm sure I can do this expertly. I will definitely make sure to live up to everything that my master has taught me and make this the best temple ever.
It's so hot. I just need something to cool me off.
The first visitor to our temple. Good day. How may we be of service to you?
It's super hot outside. The sun is shining so hot.
You need something to keep the sun off of your head. Oh, we can help. We can help. Will this work?
Yes.
This will keep the sun off of your head, and you will be safe, and we will have done our due diligence in this temple. Thank you. Have a blessed day. I helped the first guest to our temple. I'm sure the master is going to be so pleased.
Yuki, what have you done in my absence? Tell me what has occurred.
Well, we had a visitor.
Good.
A young man who was being touched by the sun, but not in the way of being blessed by the sun god, was actually sweating profusely because it was such a warm and muggy day out there.
So you told him to give you his coat so that he would not sweat so much and we would have a coat.
No, I thought he could use some shade, so I gave him that wonderfully exquisite parasol that we have.
Yuki! You gave him our parasol? What shall we, the temple, do if we do not have our parasol?
Wait, aren't we supposed to help people?
Yes, we're supposed to help people, but not give them our stuff. Then we don't have our stuff.
What do I do if they ask for help then?
Yuki, what? You're right. Perhaps I forgot to train you properly, Yuki. The next time someone comes for help in such a manner, tell them something like it blew away in the wind, and when it landed, it shattered into 1,000 pieces, and why even the very skin of it was ripped off of the ribs of it. Yes, tell them this. Tell them that, and then they won't want it anymore.
Right. That is brilliant, Master. I will definitely do right upon you and upon this great temple this time.
I have no doubt of that, Yuki. Now I shall go and take care of my afternoon prayers.
Thank you, Master. Oh, I can't believe I made that mistake, but I will be better this time around. Definitely.
Oh, this journey has gotten so long and hard. My master, he sent me to deliver a message, but the land is so far away, and I have no steed, no horse.
Oh, you! Oh, welcome to our temple. How may we help you?
Oh, blessings of heaven upon you. Please, can you help me? I need a steed. I need a horse to ease my journey into the far lands.
Oh, you need one of the horses for our temple. Well, I can What did the old priest say? Oh, I would give you one of our horses.
Oh, good.
But I'm afraid it was blown away by the wind and then shattered into 1,000 pieces, and the skin ripped from its ribs. I imagine we had to tie up what was left out back and, dry out and that.
What kind of temple is this? How can you do something to such a beautiful animal?
Ah, have a good day. I did what Master told me.
Yuki, who's that man? Like he ran out of here as if chased by an oni!
He was someone asking for a horse.
Ah, he asked for a horse.
I did not give him a horse.
Good! What did you tell him?
Exactly what you told me to tell him.
Wait.
I told him the wind carried it away and it shattered into 1,000 pieces and the skin was ripped from its ribs.
Yuki! You cannot tell people that we ripped the skin off the ribs of our horses!
But you told me to say that!
No. Yuki,
This is so hard.
Perhaps I should teach you something else to say. Well, look, when someone comes in asking for something like that next time, tell them instead, tell them that it has gone mad.
Gone mad?
Yes, mad with old age, and that it's kicking and biting, frothing at the mouth. Tell them that you're pretty sure we'll have to put it down soon. Yes, tell them that next time.
Right, Master. I will not fail you this time.
I'm sure you won't. I'm pretty sure he will. I will go and hide and watch this next interaction to see if he truly is ready.
Greetings. Welcome to the temple.
I hope you are well.
It's been an eventful day.
I have some wonderful news for you.
You do?
And for your master as well. My household recently heard that your master, the old priest of this temple, is getting ready to retire.
That's true.
And so, our household has decided to hold a gathering, a celebration of his illustrious career, where he is to be a guest of honor. And you are invited as well, Yuki.
There's to be a gathering to celebrate my master, and I can go home, but...
What is wrong, Yuki?
Well, I can definitely attend, but I'm sorry to say that the head priest has gone mad.
What?
With old age.
Oh, no.
He's frothing at the mouth, and he's kicking, and he's biting people. I'm told we're gonna have to put him down.
Yuki! What do you think people are mad for? I'm not mad! Do not listen to that, Yuki!
Yes, you are.
Stop!
You are definitely. You need to retire because this job has made you crazy. I hope to see you at the celebration, Yuki.
I'll be there. Master, I did exactly what you told me to do.
Yuki! I feel like maybe I haven't trained you well for this post. I have an idea. We have to bless you first. I'll take you out back to the ceremonial hitching post and tie you up in ceremonial knots and beat you with my ceremonial fan!
I'm sorry, Master. I'm sorry, Master.
Beat you with my fan!
I'm sorry, Master. I'm sorry, Master.
Beat you with my fan, Yuki!
It's a companion piece to Japanese Noh theater, which you also may have heard. Noh is more serious, but in between each of the Noh plays, they would have a short comedic farce. There's a wide variety of them. In period, they were more improvised, like what we did today. They're very short. They involve stock characters. As you see, foolish servants. They can have conniving old men, braggarts, a lot of what you see in commedia dell'arte, but completely unrelated art, because humor can be universal.
Our next person up is wonderful Karastonia from the Barony of Sternfeld. You'll introduce your name and what you're performing.
Good day, my lords and my ladies. My name is Lady Karastonia. I am a storyteller. Today I would like to tell you the story about the Festival of Tanabata. Let me give you a little information about the festival first. The Festival of Tanabata is also known as the Star Festival. It was introduced by the Empress Kokei in the year 755. It originated from a Chinese festival called Kixi, which is the festival to plead for skills. Each year, people hang their wishes on write their wishes on tanzaku, which is brightly colored paper, on the day before the festival, and hang these wishes on bamboo trees. These trees, called wishing trees, because of the number of tanzaku hung on them, are floated down the river and burned to carry the wishes to heaven. Hear now the story of the lovers Orihime, known in the Western world as Vega, and Hikaboshi, known in the Western world as Altair. Their story is the basis for the festival of Tanabata. Tante was the Sky King, and he was responsible for decorating all that we see in the heavens. And he had a beautiful daughter named Orihime, and she was a most skilled weaver. And every day and every night she would sit and she would weave this fine, delicate, and beautiful fabric that her father used to make the clouds. Now, Tante, the king, noticed that his daughter, while she worked diligently, was very sad, because she had decided that she would never know love. So her father decided to do something nice for her, and he gave her a day off of work. So Orihime was very happy, so she went and danced among the stars and walked along the Amangawea, the river of heaven, that which we call the Milky Way. Now her father arranged another surprise, and he asked Hikaboshi, his cow herder, to take his herds of heavenly cows, that are those that produce the Milky Way, down by the river to where his daughter would be likely to rest. When Orihime and Hikaboshi saw each other, they fell in love instantly. And the king, Tante, started planning a celestial wedding. Now, if our story ended here, it would end up happy. However, Hikaboshi and Orihime were so wrapped up in their love for each other that they neglected their duties. And soon, the cows of heaven were running through the celestial halls, the Milky Way was looking much diminished, and the king had run out of fabric to make clouds. So the king went looking for his daughter and his cowherd, and he found them, and he was much vexed. So he dragged his daughter back to the celestial halls and sent the cowherd to the other side of the river and said they could never see each other again. Well, Orihime was heartbroken to hear that she would lose her husband. And like any good father, Tante was moved by her tears. So he made them this bargain, that if they worked diligently and well for a year, they would have one night on the 7th day of the 7th month each year that they could meet. The first night that they were to have together, Orihime went down to the heavenly river and could find no bridge to cross to her husband. and she despaired. But the magpies, hearing her cries, came and made her an offer. They said, tonight and every night, every year on this night, we will come and we will make of our wings a bridge for you to cross to your husband. But we cannot come if the rains come, because we cannot fly in the rains. So on the day of Tanabata, young lovers write their wishes on the brightly colored papers. They lay these wishes on the streams and the rivers, hoping that the streams carry them to the heavenly river up in the sky. And these wishes could be many, many things, but those that are true of heart wish for a clear night, so that Orihime and Altair can meet in the sky in the middle of the Milky Way. And this is why you see Vega and Altair on the 7th day of the 7th night each year, standing bright in the center of the Milky Way.
All of the performers today are receiving a beaded token in thanks for all the performers and performances that you've seen. We have been gifted with a wealth of performers today, and I appreciate every last one of them. All right, coming up.
Good evening, everyone. I am currently, up until today, known in the SCA as Jahan Ara, Baroness Jahan Ara, and this is Fujinami Hime. We are the heads, crazy people, who run Mono no Ware, which is a Japanese research and teaching group. We started it 15 years ago with Sakura, who is lost to us today, but I am wearing her clothes in memory of her. And our goal has been to teach Japanese for the last 15, almost 16 years. So you can imagine how we feel about what today has been like, seeing all of the things that everyone has done to make this an incredible day for their majesties. And for those of us who do Japanese research, we're a little verklempt. Wrong word, but I don't know another word that suits it. What we are doing today is going to go over little things about what do you do in a Japanese court. What does this mean? We thought it might help. There's just a lot of Japanese flying around up here, and there's going to be more. So we thought we would go over bowing, because you're going to see a lot of us doing, really low to the ground. There are alternatives to that. We're going to go over the bowing. We're going to go over what the shoes, little things that help make it if you're interested in doing Japanese at school, but also so that you understand what some of the things that we're doing in court. I'm also part of the enthronement committee. In coronation in Japan, we call it an enthronement. And we're doing a lot of things that are actually documentably historical. We wanted to add a little bit to it. So, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Our thing that we've gotten the most questions since His Majesty went crowned is, well, how do you bow? And there's multiple ways. Display. So one of the things that we've gotten a lot of questions is there a way to bow without getting all the way on the ground? Yes. So you do this. Bow like this. It's perfectly acceptable bow for a court. You don't have to get on your knees. You don't have to put your head face to the ground. Trust me, there are days when it's really important. Okay. So I can do that. So you have the bowing. You can also do the bowing in seiza, which is the kneeling position. You sit on your feet.
And for ladies, your toes should be touching, your feet should be touching.
Put their hands at their sides, like in a standing bow. This is more casual. Okay. For the formal bow, all the way out like that. Something like that. All right. So the other question we get, why? An interesting little piece of information is the general idea is you're not in Japan supposed to be taller than the emperor. Okay? The average age of emperor when this was started was 6. Thus, the low bow. This was probably from in the Han era, which was 794 to 1180. So for during that time, the average age was 6, and this is when they created Japan. And you can imagine that creates a problem. My 5-year-old only comes up to about right here. So when you'd be sitting, which he often does, you can't be higher than that. That's why you bow so low. Okay? It's also why dioceses exist. They kept trying to get them taller. So, the other thing people run around, you've noticed, we're not wearing shoes. That's only happens indoors. Yes. So, she's going to cover the shoes.
So the reason people didn't wear shoes much is inside people's homes is because shoes go outside and they track the dirt and the mud and all that, so they're considered dirty. Even if they're not obviously visibly dirty, they're still considered dirty, and so you don't want to bring that dirt into someone's home. And so the polite thing to do in a Japanese household is you take your shoes off at the door. And that would be true in a court setting too. So if you ever noticed, Jahanara and I, when we're doing the Japanese, take our shoes off if we're ever called into court.
If we have them on, of course.
If we have them, yeah. I often don't wear shoes on all day if I'm inside. Also, if you have the mats, the tatami mats, sorry, I'm just kind of, if you are familiar with the tatami mats, those are the straw mats that they would stand on, you don't wear shoes on the mats ever, because they break. And so there was another instance where you would take your shoes off. So if you want to do this, and you want to go, you get called to the court, slip your shoes off where you're sitting, and go up. You would not be taking that dirty shoes into the presence of Her Majesty.
So things you're going to see in court tonight. You saw a little bit of it this morning. We're still learning. The mat that was rolled out, the tatami mat, those are they're supposed to be rush mats. We put a whole bunch of them together. The emperor, in the entirety of period, when he would leave the dais, would walk on those rush mats. They would be rolled out in front of him, and then rolled up right behind him. The only person to walk on those mats would be the emperor. In this case, the emperor and Reina Inez, Spanish. She's doing Spanish. Will hopefully be the only ones to walk on the mat. We had miscommunication this morning. Again, we're learning. They're long. And you would roll them up and set them aside and unroll them immediately. Because they found that it's a long-standing tradition, it's even used in the recent enthronement today. This is today. The terms you're going to hear and see. Oh, I'm glad you gave me one of these. The shaku. This is a baton that people of state, people who were in the court, worked in the court, etc., would carry around. Batons of office. That would be, could in the SCA, that could apply to people who are part of their staff. People who theoretically can be officers, king officers. I'm one of their staff, so I have one. And then the hisan, which is a ceremonial fan. There's a ceremonial fan that's used in court. They're very important to Japanese culture. If you ever see any of us wandering around and we're often doing this, women hid their faces behind the fans. I read lips, so that's really fun. And they talked behind the fans because, can't They passed the notes to each other behind the fans. Fans were used as scrolls for awards, or hey, thank you for what you've done, and then they would be put on here with team for signature.
So you may have noticed there's a lot of cranes in the room today, courtesy of many people in the mid-room who all pulled together to make, I think we estimated over 4,000 cranes today.
4,000 cranes, guys. We were aiming for 1,000. Good luck. This is going to be a very auspicious rain.
Cranes are really important in Japanese culture and have been for a really long time. They're symbols of good fortune and prosperity and long life, in part because cranes were thought to have lived 1,000 years. And they were also thought to take the souls of the departed up to paradise. And so having the cranes was very symbolic of good luck. One of the traditions that came out of that is the 1,000 cranes, which you may or may not have heard about. It came into popularity after World War II again. But what the idea of the 1,000 cranes is if you had something that you really, really wished for, it was often something huge, like you have a family who's dying of a disease, or your farm is failing and you really need that rain, or whatever, you could make a wish, write that wish on the origami paper, and fold the crane. And you did that for each of the 1,000 cranes, and if you managed to make all 1,000 cranes in the space of a year, your wish would come true. So it's kind of like wishing on a shooting star, only it requires a lot more diligence in order to make the wish.
So when we were trying to figure out something, a largesse to give to the people, as part of the enthronement ceremony, we came up with a lot of things. But we needed a lot. I didn't know that we needed 4,000 cranes, but we do. And we were able to do something even more cool. You all have cranes on your chairs or near them. They are yours to take home with you. That was what we wanted to do. We thought you'd get one, you have 5. We thank everyone who allowed us to do this by donating their time and their excitement and exuberance.
There's no way we could have done this by ourselves.
This kingdom is amazing. To come up with 4,000 cranes in 2 weeks. I mean, just amazing. Thank you very much. May you have an auspicious year with your cranes. May you have wonderful peace in your lives to come. We are going to be donating the extra cranes to the children's peace garden in Hiroshima. You can mail them and then we'll hang them up. We'll post pictures once we've sent them. We could not have done that if we were going to try. We could not have done that if we had not gotten over 4,000 cranes.
And we still have several hundred that are being used
If
as
you
largesse.
do not have cranes on your chair, because they wandered off, there are 2 baskets, or you want more, at the end of court, if you would like to pick up a crane on your way out, an individual crane, there are 2 baskets at the back of the court that you're welcome to. Take home with you proof of what an incredible kingdom this is. We thank you for listening. I know the singing and all is entertaining. We thought it was important that you get a little bit of education and knowledge of what you're about to see tonight. And there are programs somewhere, if you didn't already have one, it tells you a little bit more about what's going on. For all of those who have helped make this day incredible, for those of us who are trying to make Japanese something that is understandable, presentable, and makes their majesties happy. Thank you very much.
All right, so this brings us back to more kyōgen with the Confusis from Lefnans. Or not. Oh yes, they are. After them will be the taiko drummers. Just letting you guys know that you are up next.
Oh, life is hard for a simple farmer. My simple farm was not incredibly prosperous, but it was enough to sustain us and provide what we had to for our Lord. But my farm has been blighted with this demonic, foul, inconceivable mushroom. This mushroom, I have attempted to tear it up, to dig it up, to cut it up, to burn it out, and nothing works. No mundane strength that I can muster has touched it. So, all I have left that I can do is appeal to spiritual power. I must go into the neighboring mountains and find my Yamabushi of these lands. I must travel over the river, the bridges, up through the mountains, filled with the birds and the trees, to find the home of the Yamabushi. Oh, Yamabushi! Oh, great Yamabushi! I beseech you! Oh, great Yamabushi! Who calls for the great Yamabushi? It is I! You just appeared like a bird out of nowhere. What do you want? I hope I did not offend you, great Yamabushi. I have come in search of your great spiritual power.
Well, of course, for I am a Mamabushi. I, of course, can solve any problem that you have.
This is a power far beyond me.
It is, all powers are far beyond regular men out there. That's why you need Yamabushi.
Yes, that's why I need you, Yamabushi, to defeat this mushroom.
A mushroom?
The mushroom. The mushroom from beyond.
You need my assistance for a mushroom.
Yes, please. Please, great Yamabushi.
Well, I presume he'll pay. So let us be off to your house.
Yes, please. I will show you the way to my farm.
Of course, for I do not know the way to your farm.
You must travel down through the pathways of the mountain, and down across the bridges, until finally we come down to my farm, my humble farm.
Farm?
Yes. You're so close. Just a little bit closer. And we finally come to my humble farm, and you see before you the blight that has befouled my land.
This is the largest mushroom I have ever seen.
Yes, it's the size of a duck. No, 2 ducks.
Well, rest assured, I know an incantation to rid you of this mushroom, for I am a great mountain priest. What I have is, you may think these are prayer beads. They're not, they're just pieces of wood I tied to a string. But in my hands, they are prayer beads, because I can enchant a prayer. In the other hand, I hold the power of the fire god. Together, I shall rid your field of this unwanted mushroom. Boron! 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 And now I declare your problem has been solved.
Oh, thank good. One, too many. There are more. There's another one.
Wait! There's a second mushroom.
There is a second mushroom.
Wait! I can handle this. I can handle this. This requires even more intense power. A greater spell. I will invoke not just one god, but all 7 lucky gods, and all the kami of my ancestors, and all the kami of your ancestors.
My ancestors,
For I,
please help me.
and I will cast out all these mushrooms. Boron! 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 And the problem, once again, is most assuredly resolved.
Oh, thank you, great Yamabushi. There's even more mushrooms.
There's more?
And they're getting bigger.
You have a serious problem indeed. I am so glad that you for the Yamabushi, for I am sure that I can resolve this problem. I will call forth my greatest skill that I can have. I shall do the sign of the eggplant. It's the most powerful spell I have. I will cast the sign of the eggplant.
Anything's better than mushrooms.
I am currently casting the sign of the eggplant. And once I have finished, all of your mushrooms shall be gone. Boron! 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 And they're moving! What did you do? You apparently have a different problem that you told me about. These are moving mushrooms. Apparently the problem I have is incompetent Yamabushi. Well, I have one more suggestion.
You better be better than your last one.
Yes, I suggest we run. Run, 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 run.
there's going to be a brief introduction, and you will hear me say what? Draco. And you will say?